Tonight's presentation brought to you by the trucks that are built Ford tough. See the new '89 Ford trucks now. And Gold MasterCard, the world's #1 gold card.
Coming up next on Newscenter 3, a tornado watch is in effect for most of the area until 1 o'clock this morning. President-elect Bush names a Treasury Secretary. October retail sales are up almost a full percentage point. The life of a World War II POW in our special report Remembering the War, and some 83,000 farmers get a bit of unwelcome news from Uncle Sam. Stay with us. Newscenter 3 is next.
TV3, serving Western Kentucky. Newscenter 3, serving Southern Illinois and the Tri-State. And now, Newscenter 3 with Rod Sievers.
Good evening, everyone. A severe, I should say, a thunderstorm watch is in effect for most of our area until 1 o'clock this morning, and Jim Razor is here to tell us about it. Jim, this storm system has spawned some tornadoes already.
Yes, already several tornadoes have been spawned in Arkansas, as you said, and we'll take a look right now where the tornado watch is. It runs until 1 o'clock. All the counties shaded in yellow are under the watch until 1 a.m. Now let's go to radar and see what's going on. Paducah radar right now actually does not look that impressive as far as severe weather, but there is a large mass of rain already into Cape Girardeau. Now let's go to Little Rock and see what's coming our way. You can see some very intense thunderstorms down there, all of them moving to the northeast around 40 miles per hour. And just on the top right corner of your picture is about where Poplar Bluff sets. So we're looking for that stuff to start moving in, and we'll be back a little later with a full report on what's going on.
All right. Thank you, Jim. Elsewhere, Vice President George Bush was back in Washington today following a Florida vacation and acting very presidential. Bush announced the Treasury Secretary Nicholas Brady will remain in that position in the new administration. Brady is a lifetime friend of the president-elect and a former Wall Street banker.
He will be the chief economic spokesman for my administration. He knows that our most important priority is to keep our economy growing with low inflation.
I'll do my best to help the President-elect serve the people and to build on this, the longest economic recovery in the history of this country.
Bush says he expects the Brady appointment to have a calming effect on the stock market, and Brady's time as a senator will help him deal with congressional leaders.
And he knows we've got to sit down with the Congress and hammer out a budget deficit reduction agreement, and that we have to do it soon.
The Vice President also hinted that he may decide this week who will be Chief of Staff in the Bush White House. Well, later, Bush and Vice President-elect Dan Quayle met with West German Chancellor Helmut Kohl and other German officials. Bush told reporters that he and Kohl understand the need to cut the U.S. deficit. Kohl met earlier in the day with President Reagan. Tomorrow, Bush will meet with another ally, British Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher. And next month, Bush will meet with Soviet President Mikhail Gorbachev. But President Reagan says the meeting at the UN will be a get-together and not a full-blown summit. Well, it's not even Christmas yet, and the American buying public is already acting like Santa Claus. The Commerce Department says retail sales jumped by 0.9% in October. The big gains were in department stores and car dealers. Analysts say stronger sales should be no surprise, with the jobless rate relatively low and personal incomes pretty solid in most parts of the country. Uncle Sam also says industrial production rose 0.4% in October, continuing a string of moderate gains since a big jump back in July. Well, the Soviets say their first space shuttle successfully completed its first mission, a launch, 2 orbits, and a landing. Despite cold rain and the threat of ice, the unmanned spacecraft blasted off from Soviet Central Asia last night. It landed nearly 3.5 hours later at a runway near the launch site. The Soviets have said they intend to make manned flights, but they haven't said when. Elsewhere overseas, the chairman of the Palestinian